all around the world. Hey Joyce, having good manners is so important to the British people. So having lived in the UK for so many years, what is your take on behaving like a real lady? I'd say a real lady is classy, elegant, and has good etiquette. I'm sure we'd all agree that us ladies have a certain set of etiquette rules to follow. Similarly, like the classic afternoon tea, it's also an important and timeless ritual for the British. And that too also has its own set of rules. I've heard something like that as well, from the no pinky rule to how to stir your tea, to how to slather the clotted cream onto the scone, and choosing the exquisite teaware. Everything seems to have a particular way to do it. Wow, you do know a lot, Veron. Well, speaking of afternoon tea, tea should always come first and foremost.
I think the British tea culture is slightly different by the Chinese tea culture because tea culture in the UK is related to the lifestyle that people have and is related to history as well. So it started with the introduction of tea in the 1600s. It became more popular in the 1800s with wealthy women as well. And then the tea tradition quickly spread to different places, such as tea gardens, tea parties as well, and hotels and restaurants. The perfect way to roast our nice cuppa is always start with fresh water, as fresh water will give it a nice flavor to the tea. And then we're gonna follow by loose tea. Always choose a very good tea. That's the key point to start. Don't forget the quantity of the tea is very important. 1 spoon for the teapot, 1 spoon for myself. And then we wait until the steam comes out from the kettle. And then I start pouring the tea. So I will let it brew between 3 to 5 minutes to get the most out of the flavor.
I really like this. It's very delicate and sweet. And I like how this rose pushang tea, just by smelling it, it has a very nice aroma. And sipping it down, wow, it feels so comfortable. And I love how we got to appreciate the art of making a perfect cup of tea, which makes our entire tea drinking experience much more special. But I'd say our tea journey wouldn't be complete without some delicious food. That's right.
The tea comes from the Yunnan province, as the Yunnan province has the lovely flavors of chocolate and pepper tea as well. So it goes very well with our set, as our set has sandwiches, scones and pastries. So for every single sip of tea, you're going to have different sensations and different kind of taste on your palate as well.
The traditional 3-tiered afternoon tea set showcased a wide range of delicate and bite-sized treats. What a tempting indulgence for those with a sweet tooth.
Sitting down for an afternoon treat of tea, cake, and sandwiches is nice, but there are other ways to enhance your tea drinking experience these days.
A tea-inspired spritz cocktail is one of them, and it goes very well with savory bites.
So the Scotch Egg is a very traditional light afternoon tea boil. So it starts with a lovely poached egg with some wild British pork meat, and also is deep fried with breadcrumbs as well.
Scotch eggs are my favorite go-to bar snack while I was in the UK. I love the crispy sausage on the outside with the soft boiled egg on the inside. The flavors match really well, but having it with a cocktail is my first time. It's quite interesting. As for me, my favorite would have to be the decadent 3-tier presentation afternoon tea set. I like how the finger sandwiches and the delicate scones and the little pastries were so delicious. Every bite tasted so sweet, and it's really nice to indulge with friends here, just for the afternoon. A cool bubbly drink on a hot summer day is something impossible to resist for many.
But sometimes a sugary soda might not be the best drink that goes with your pasta.
That's why we are pairing this German egg pasta with an aromatic sparkling tea instead. Not to mention, it is refreshing and light, definitely a perfect beverage for the summer.
For me, if I was to pick a dessert, I will go for the crepe Suzette. So it's flambé on the table side, and it has the lovely flavors of caramel, orange, syrup as well. I will pair it with our lovely green tea and elderflower. So the green tea and elderflower is a unique drink itself, giving harmonic notes to the pattern that combines very well with the caramel and sweetness of the dessert.
Though tea drinking is a time-honored tradition, it keeps reinventing itself to adapt to the modern world, something that will never go out of style.
Exciting activities promote a sense of self-expansion. When we take on new experiences, we discover new strengths and confront new challenges.
And a lot of the time, when we talk about challenges, a lot of people think of thrill-seeking activities like skydiving or bungee jumping. However, if you like to stay firmly on the ground and still really test yourself, then obstacle course workouts might just be the thing for you.
For the obstacle course races, it's actually required the whole body strength. I will focus on 3 elements. One is muscle endurance, another one will be the whole body strength, and the other one will be power. There's a lot of climbing, a lot of required legs muscle, and then we have to carry very heavy stuff. So I will basically focusing on these 3 areas when I program myself to prepare for the race.
Although the actual obstacle course races contain large chunks of running, only training on the treadmill isn't gonna cut it. You'll need to prep your body for some non-traditional crawling, hanging, pulling, and pushing as well.
Right. So for those who are planning to run your first race, the most important thing is to have a well-rounded training plan.
If you are the beginner, like newbie, I would suggest you do a jogging, starting off first, then probably like few times a week. When you achieve that level, like a basic fitness foundation, then you can move on to incorporate more resistance training, such as deadlift, pull-up, squat. This kind of exercise can improve your overall strength.
Monkey bars is one of the signature obstacles, but to gracefully conquer this obstacle, there is more than meets the eye.
First of all, your grip need to be very strong. For the new beginner, probably you go to like the part hanging there and try to pull the grip first, and then slowly you can take off one hand and then shift to another hand. And then once you manage it, you can feel the grip stay really whole. Then you can move your body, try to sway your body, rotate your body, and try to move on this. But make sure you have someone to spot you while you're doing this.
Obstacle race training not only builds your full body fitness, but it also allows you to improve mobility and withstand just about anything that gets thrown at your body.
Now, besides your physical training, having a quality diet is also very important. Try and stay away from processed food because they have less nutritional value. Try to have more whole foods like vegetables, fruit, and protein to really maximize your training.
I think for any training, proper form is the most key important for you. If you do improper form, you may target unintended muscle grip. So which is you will limit your training. So proper training is very important. You need to understand your body. Secondly, when you go to the race, it's better team up with some people. Let's say when you do very challenging obstacle like monkey bar, rope climb, or some other like climbing, you have your team to help you push you more. So I think this is very important for newbie to understand that. So you cannot just go unprepared.
wow, I love this kind of workout. I love the fact that it's functional strength. I have to pull, I have to push, I have to dig deep, I have to put in the effort and not quit. And then when I finish each movement, I just feel amazing.
I think this is really fun. It requires you to use all of your muscles as well as good technique to complete the entire course. But I think as long as you keep training yourself, eventually it will definitely improve.
After the break, discover what a difference a wine glass. As the saying goes, use the right tool for the right job in the right way. The importance of using the correct tools for the job can help ensure things operate at peak performance. Similarly, when it comes to wine tasting, using the proper glassware will certainly enhance the experience. Willing to know how different glassware can affect how wine tastes and smells? Then France is a good place to start.
For the French wine glasses, they're so different from the others because they are curated because of certain very specific reasons. First of all, because of the culture, the culinary background, and more importantly is the occasions. As you know, in France, there used to be many different regions combined all together, so they're very different from the north to the south. A lot of the glasses, they have evolved over time from a very small glasses to actually very big glasses. For example, let's say Alsace, which is one of the most northern part wine region in France. Apart from the signature green stem glass, actually a lot of people use what we call a bistro glass. It is actually relatively smaller in size, but it works for all occasions. You can enjoy your sparkling wines, you can enjoy red or white, or even sweet wine in those glasses. The idea is to make the wine glasses less formal, so that it could actually make the family closer and cozier together. As we move to Bordeaux, over there, a lot of the wines, they are blends of many different grapes. As you can imagine, because of the blend, they're so complex in terms of the aroma. So that's why a lot of the glasses in Bordeaux, they are larger in sizes, so that they could actually let the air help out to evolve the aroma over time and actually elevate the texture as you enjoy them. As we move to Burgundy, they are very well known for single varietal wine. So these beautiful single varietal wines that if we use actually a bigger wine glasses, so it actually elevated the whole experience to another level.
Less than 100 miles east of Paris, the Champagne region is best known for the production of the sparkling wine that bears the region's name. And this famous wine region, of course, does have a very high standard choice of glass preferences. How are the wine glasses from the Champagne region different from the others?
Traditionally, in Champagne region, a lot of the people actually started to appreciate champagne using this type of wine glasses called a champagne coupe. So a lot of the royal family actually like to drink champagne as a very thirst-quenching beverage, together with a very fresh oyster. But over time, they realized that the bubbles are very beautiful, so they started to switch to a different type of wine glasses. So when you pour the champagne in there, because it has a lot of bubbles, so you can actually see the bubble in different color, reflection, and all that beautifully rises during each pour.
So how has the wine glass design differed over time?
A lot of the enthusiasts, they found that, well, if they appreciate champagne or other delicate drinks, wines, for example, there's more to just a glass itself, but also the texture and the aroma. On this one, we call it a little balloon. In French, we call it a petit balloon.
Cute.
So the idea is this glass has a little bit of a radar function. So imagine that it's like a decanter or a carafe together with the fruit itself. So when during each pour, it could just also bring a little bit more of the air inside. So it could let the wine relax a little bit and then concentrate the aroma a little bit. So it actually enhances the enjoyment a lot more.
What are some of the latest wine glass designs, and how does it provide a different experience compared to the classic ones?
For example, let's take a look at this. We found that actually more and more people, they enjoy wine as an occasion, more like everyday things right now. It's less of a fine dining, a dress-up thing, but more of a casual occasion that you spend with friends and family. So why not for wine glasses?
Knowing which different types of wine glasses serve with different types of wine is just the basics. To get the most out of the whole experience, you also need to know how to store the wine glasses. A simple technique is to tip the wine glass upside down and hang it onto the wine glass rack. In that way, you will prevent any damaging to the rims and keep the dust away. Then, your glasses will be brimming with shine all the time.
Sometimes it's difficult to define art just by categories and genres. The creative use of different materials and colors brings us unique stories and visual impacts. The abstract and formless nature of art might seem out of reach for some, but that is precisely what makes art appreciation an engaging experience. I noticed you and your team have brought together many different artists under the same roof. Can you tell us the overview of this exhibition?
Especially since today there's such a vivid and important discussion about diversity, about different points of view and experiences and perspectives, and how to bring them all meaningfully in the same conversation. And we think that art is the best platform for that.
And can you walk us through some of the artworks that are created by local artists or inspired by the local scene?
As you enter the exhibition, one of the first things you see is a work by Liu Guosong, who is a major figure in modern ink painting. And it's a work that he did in Hong Kong in the early 70s. The bottom of it is a traditional Chinese landscape, but at the top of the work you also see a fragment of a very important photograph in our common visual history. Is the blue marble. It's the first time that the Earth was seen from the space. And you see essentially like these two very different ways of imagining our planet, imagining our home, living together on this bi-dimensional canvas. Another work I could think of is made by a very young Hong Kong artist, Wing Po So, and she's from a family of traditional Chinese pharmacists. And a lot of her works, and particularly in this exhibition, deal with this tradition, the ingredients, the technology, exactly, the herb, the ingredients.
Wow.
She translates that into her artistic practice. So we have some beautiful sculptures that she made in reference and sometimes using the ingredients of Chinese traditional medicine.
Well, that's very interesting. And is there a particular piece that holds a special place in your heart?
So a lot of the works in the exhibition deal with traditional languages of art making, like ink art that we talked about, or painting traditions from different cultural contexts. But it's important to say that we didn't want to just show tradition for the sake of it. We were interested in artists who keep alive these vocabularies in order to say things that are relevant for our current moment. And I could think of a beautiful work that you see at the ground floor of Citra Sasmita, and she's an artist from Bali in Indonesia, and she works in the traditional Balinese painting style, but rather than depicting gods or mythological scenes, she creates this fantastical land inhabited by women. It's a world where women are empowered and women dominate. And it's a beautiful piece in that sense, because you can see both the traditional language when you look at it and the very contemporary aspiration as well.
So we see pieces from around the world in this exhibition, and what would you say is the cultural significance of it?
As our world becomes ever more interconnected, it's crucial that we become familiar with all the different cultural contexts and the different traditions in the world. So for that, we need a sustained dialogue and a sustained conversation and understanding. And art is best equipped to do that.
And what's your vision of the local art scene in the future?
It's a community where there are different points of view and different ways of working, but especially with all the crises happening at the moment, there's a need for support for local artists. So we're doing what we can to do it directly, but also to raise awareness about the need for everyone in Hong Kong to support our local art scene and to get involved, because again, art is the tool that gives meaning to our life as a community. So everyone who cares about our community should support artists in this difficult moment.
The art pieces exhibited here are so rich in detail. Each piece has a unique story to tell. My favorite one is this one. It's by a Filipino artist. When I first saw it, it is very eye-catching and the usage of color is so vibrant. But when you look more closer, there are a lot more details to it. It illustrates the busy streets in the weekends. It's such an interesting piece.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you want to find out more about what we have introduced, remember to log on to our website. In the coming weeks, we will continue to experience and enjoy life to the fullest. Whether you want to savor the best tastes of the season, find ways to spend quality time with your loved ones, kickstart a healthier lifestyle, or see the world from a different perspective, we've got you covered. Join us again next time to find out more.